Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go fishing. I'm on a mission. It's so pretty, I'd sure hate to waste this chance. We'll find us a shady little spot, not too high. Perfect for a little fishing and romance. Oh yes. There's nothing so inviting, nothing quite as exciting as a little fishing when they're biting. Let's go fishing.
Morning, boys and girls. I went out this morning and tried to catch a bass or two and run out on the front of the semi-grass out there, and it was rocking and rolling again. I've been out there 3 times, and all 3 times it's rocking and rolling. It's muddy, and I just kind of played around there a little bit. Didn't stay long. About 20 minutes, I think, was the most I've done. Made maybe a dozen casts, and just not happening yet. Now it is really shallow out there. You got to be really careful, but it's shallow. You got to be careful. It was just a little bit hazy this morning. You can see it. A little bit overcast, not bad. There's not as much grass out there now as there was. I don't know what happened to it. We haven't had no hurricanes or heavy winds, and nobody's spraying it. It just didn't come back up. And they'll be there. They'll be there coming up the next full moon there in May. They'll move in then when the shad will come in. The shad hatch will move in there. Then the bass will move in there for them. Then we'll be able to go out there and catch them on the bar and down at Buckhead and 4 Point and below, in the grass. Anywhere there'll be semi-grass, there'll be bass. So yeah, they'll move in there eventually. But you can see it's rocking and rolling. There was a couple other boats out there. They didn't stay long either. I mean, you just go out there and you can feel it. You just don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? So you go through the motions a little bit and you hope you find a stupid one. Now, you could probably flip in there. Like I said, you could probably flip in there and take your time and catch one, but I'm not going to fight them waves and the wind and mud, the blood, and the beer, you might say. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not really fun, not relaxing. I didn't mix it up. I just threw a spinnerbait in there and just to see if they're in there, had any blow-ups on it. And like I said, it's coming. I mean, it'll be there for long, and then it's fun, Yeah, I probably went down 100 yards and never even got a smell, and I knew it just wasn't going to happen. I picked up and run back a little ways, about, I don't know, half mile, went in and tried another little spot in there, and still didn't happen. So, yeah. Now, last year I was catching them now at this time of the year. You know, in April, middle of April, I was catching a few of them in the grass, but they're just not there yet. And in my opinion, it's a couple weeks off. Like I said, May 1st is the next full moon, and from then until September, you can go out in daylight there and catch a few fish, you know, doing this. But it's just not happening yet. The grass is starting to get green. I will say that it's starting to green up pretty good, which is a good sign, you know, which is a good thing. Seven years ago when I moved down here, there were shad everywhere. I don't see that now like I used to. Maybe they're offshore doing their thing, but when I first moved down here, there was lots of shad. But I'm not seeing it now. And I was talking to some of the old timers, and they said, you know, the shad used to blow up out in the lake and stuff, and you could see them, and the bass be all over them, you know what I'm saying? But you don't see that. You don't see that now. I don't know what's going on. I think a lot of it has to do with some of the major hurricanes we've had that's kind of ripped stuff up and kind of changed things. But it can only get better. You know, it can only get better. It's not very good right now. Well, the bigger baits didn't work. I mean, I was throwing some little bit bigger baits out there, which they will work eventually. It will work. So I ran up the river a little ways and scaled down my line to 6-pound test and put some flukes on and little Cincos, and I caught some fish. And you know, sometimes you gotta. I don't know, you got to change, which is hard to do. You know, what worked last year, they're not going to work this year. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work. So it seems like you can always scale your baits down and your line down, and you won't come home empty-handed. You can always catch fish that way. But I mean, sometimes when you hook a big one, though, it'll break off. I mean, or you hook a big gar or something, but you're going to get more bites, and that's the whole idea of it, to catch fish. So I did. I kind of scaled things down, and I went up there looking for birds and stuff, and I seen birds along the bank, but they weren't active. There was not a shad hatch. They were just picking a little bit. Now, when this next moon comes up, they'll be up there on the bank with the shad, you know, and the birds will be working on them, and the bass will be working on the shad. So that's coming. That'll come, but they're not there yet. So you just got to kind of go up through there and randomly fish, you might say. And I turn on my electronics and try to find a few fish, and you know, flip in there and just kind of work places around, and again, it's like the crappie. They're out there off that ledge, or they're laying right off that edge with that water dropping a little bit. With all this rain, I don't know if it's going to come back up or not. I'm gonna check here in a little bit and see what the depth of the lake is. But yeah, once I scaled down a little bit, I started getting some hits, and I caught some fish. I mean, I don't like doing that, but if that's what it takes, you know, whatever. Now, I didn't have a shaky head or a drop shot set up, so I could have done that and caught fish, but I just put the Cinco on and the Fluke, you know, and that worked pretty good. I always put my Cinco a wacky style when it's open like this, and there's nothing they're going to get tangled up on, you know. You just go in there and just kind of flip it out. Seen a lot of gators. A lot of gators up there. They're getting ready to breed, and they're out there kind of just swimming around. Now that time of year, every year things change. It's, you know, it's really, really interesting. It's just the cycle or the circle of life, you know. Just yeah, that thing hit like a ton of bricks and it wasn't that big, but boy, it hit it, and I thought, oh, this is a gar, but it wasn't. It was a bass, and fought good, and had to loosen my drag a little bit. And the good thing I did, because the next one I got was a pretty nice fish, and then the other one after that, I caught one about the same size as the first one, but you know, it just must have had a tournament down the river somewhere, because they boats come up through there flying. I got another crappie trip tomorrow, so I'm leaving my crappie rods on there. But probably after tomorrow, they'll all take them off and just start bass fishing and catfishing, bluegill fishing. It's kind of interesting. I threw that fluke up into a tree there and thought, oh man, well, a bird came over and grabbed that fluke and pecked at it and got it out of the tree for me. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I just sitting down here just twitching it a little bit, that fluke, and then I had this one here hit, and it was a nice fish. I mean, it was really a nice fish. And had fun with him. He fought good on that 6-pound test. I'm using a Falcon rod. It's a regular drop shot rod. I'm using it, and the flukes I make them, I pour them myself. I'm using trilene 6-pound extra limp. I like that trilene extra limp when I'm using light line. I don't know, it's just a lot better, and it just seems like you get more of a contact, you know, with the fish. You know what I'm saying? When you set the hook, they were wanting it. I mean, the fish swallowed it. If you've never used a fluke, it's really fun. It's interesting to watch them. They get it on the you twitch it, and you let it pause, and you twitch, and let it pause. When you pause is when they grab it. I mean, you know, when it pauses, that's when they grab it. Yeah, Katie, bar the door. Hold on, this was a good one here. Headed for the trolling motor, and I had it on spot lock, so I had to kind of manhandle him a little bit, even with that 6-pound test, because he'd have cut it off like a knife. But yeah, if you've never used a fluke, you need to try it. It's a fish catching bait. I mean, you know, just throw it out there and twitch it. About all I ever use, the color wise, is the watermelon red. I don't know. I've always really done good with watermelon red on the fluke, and if you're gonna buy them, I kind of like the Zooms, flukes. Watermelon red's one of my favorite colors. Yeah, he's a horsing it around. I thought, boy, I better go back and get the dip net on this rascal, or he'll break that line. And he had swallowed it down too. He had swallowed it down.
Cow, he's a done one. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, my man. Oh my gosh. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. Let me get my dip net out here. I'm gonna have to dip him. Got him hog-tied here, man. Got him hog-tied. Best thing to do here is just cut this like this. Go this through here like this. Here, guys, I caught it on a fluke. I'll show you here. Here we go. Caught her on a fluke this morning, guys. Old fluky fluke right here. Right there. Throwing that old fluke this morning. It was a trick. Let's see if I can twist this around just a little bit, man. Right there.